that envies my sin.
Oh, what's in the box? What's in the fucking box?
Hey, everybody, welcome to What's in the Box? I'm your host, Death Metal Hero, and today I have a very special guest, Mr. Clint Stoker of Sweetcast, if you aren't familiar. Does some great YouTube videos analyzing the comic book industry, and also writer of Downcast, which I have just received in the mail, and I cannot wait to get my hands on. Thanks for joining me today, man. How you doing?
Good. Yeah, I appreciate you having me on. Yeah, it's been kind of fun because the past 2.5 weeks now, I've been just streaming everywhere, and so it's kind of fun to get to know other stream formats. And I don't know, I've seen some pretty clever things, and it makes me want to get the paid version of StreamYard just for the intro. You know, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, the overlays are great, man. I figured if I'm going to go ahead and do this, might as well just, go ahead and make that part of it and get the StreamYards thing. It's been pretty cool. And the fact that, you can move things around like this now, you know, and shuffle things. I mean, and also, fun stuff like this.
Yeah, that's...
You remember this movie? Do you know this movie?
I just watched, I can't remember the name of it. I just watched a little video on that one.
Yeah.
They're like saying, I need to watch it. So
Robot Monster, Roman.
Yeah. It's like part monkey, part robot. Yeah.
Yeah. I love silly old sci-fi movies like that, man.
Yeah.
It's fun stuff. Stephen King actually mentions this movie and this monster in particular on writing. I don't know if you've ever read that, but yeah, he talks about that being one of the earliest movies that he saw as a kid that really got him hooked on, sci-fi and horror and whatnot.
Nice.
As cheesy as it is, but to a kid's mind, right?
Yeah. I mean, even, I don't know, you look back at like the 90s even, and like now it kind of looks some things are a little off, but there's something about the time, for its time, what it was achieving, and you got to appreciate that.
Yeah, man. I mean, they were trying new things. Like, I still say that the heyday for horror movies, at least for me, is like the mid to late 70s into the early 80s. Just like that whole swath of horror movies, like the slasher genre, John Carpenter's The Thing, like that whole era, they really kind of pushed the boundaries with horror.
Yeah, but Alien, I think too, right? That was about the same time. Yeah, it's like all these classic, I don't know what you call modern classic. I don't know. It's just like another golden age for horror. Yeah,
definitely. And practical effects. They were doing some amazing stuff with practical effects that still look good on camera.
Yeah,
a lot of the stuff. Go ahead.
That part of the thing, what makes it so interesting is like I'll watch the making of The Thing. I think I've watched that like 3 or 4 times now because it's on YouTube, But the amazing thing is you see it and it's like they figured out how to make this all work in a practical way, which is just, it is kind of mind blowing.
It really is, and it lends it like a solidity that CGI just doesn't have, and it never will have. There's something I think in our lizard brains that tells us, hey, that's not necessarily real. Like the uncanny valley. Yeah. Like no matter how good it looks, there's always something that's just slightly off about it that pings unreal.
Yep.
It's something that's actually been filmed, something that was actually there, something that's actually casting a shadow. That's always going to look good.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah. But yeah, I love old movies like that.
Yeah, there's some good ones, that's for sure.
Like this one. Old Beetlejuice. But anyway, what we're here for is this Downcast. Let me just go ahead and switch my camera. Let's see. Oh, yep, see.
Fancy setup.
Oh
I gotta do that. Switch cameras. That's awesome.
Well, I was using the webcam. This is the webcam that's built into my laptop, And then this one right here is hung from my light.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, this is the one I normally use for Sing Along of Doom.
So I've always thought like the second one would be nice for draw. Not that I draw, but in theory, you know, they would be pretty nice for that.
Definitely, man. And let's see. Yeah. All right. So I want everyone to pay attention to this. By the way, what do you think? What do you think of my new knife?
Sweet.
Right. I love the curve of this blade.
Yeah.
And it's only got, you know, only one side has wood on it, but I don't know. Anyway, nice flick assist.
It almost has like a straight razor kind of vibe to it.
I mean, it's sharp enough. I might actually be able to shave with this damn thing.
Yeah.
But anyway, see, I want everyone to notice. See how Clint put his name on it so I can see who it came from, so I don't have to guess. So
Twice.
I can do the twice. See? And look. See, Downcast. You don't even have to put your name on it. Just put the name of the project on there. That way I know and I can contact you. That way the name is intact. So I can do this.
This is a real opening, not like a pre-opening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Staged unboxing. This is the real deal.
So now I'm like,
put up in here.
I hope it's in one piece. We will find out.
We shall see. I'm sure it will be. I mean, these Gemini mailers are pretty damn good, you know.
They are. It really is impressive how few damaged books get through. I've only had to replace, I think, 3 for this time around. Only with 2 on my first campaign.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Look at that.
There it is.
Sweet comics. Wow.
Yeah.
Bam.
Wow.
Look at that. Pristine.
Looks like you got there in good condition.
They got
2
there in
books.
great condition, man.
Yeah.
2 books. And is this like a little, what is this? Let's see. Is this like cards?
Yeah, we got a trading card in there. There's a bookmark and the sticker. I think that's it. If you're lucky, some people got the promo card for Fatal. They didn't ship those to me in a timely manner, even though I paid for it to be. So some of them have them, some of them don't. Looks like you probably don't.
I don't, yeah. But this is an awesome little card. Look at that.
It's Brian Shear's artwork right there. Bob Stone did that logo. It's so good. I love it.
That's a high quality sticker too.
Yeah.
I like it. And then the bookmark. Bookmarks are always useful. You've seen how many books I have. And then
Oh yeah.
Ooh, look at the shiny.
Yeah. So you'll notice so both books have a foil stamp in the same place.
Yeah.
I asked for a black one on the first one, and it turns out that black does not look foil at all. It's just black.
Yeah, no, it just looks glossy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I learned my lesson, and I was like, okay, I picked the 2 most outrageous looking foils. So this one of the Kelsey Shannon cover has a purple foil that kind of looks blue, you know, and kind of depends on the angle.
Yeah, see, if you get it right under the light there, you can see it's purple on the camera here. But yeah,
turned out pretty nice. I think
these are
pretty
great, man. And Kelsey, man, what a cover! That dude, such a talented dude.
Yeah, it was great. I asked him, "Hey, Kelsey, is there any way you could do a trading card for me?" He's like, "Trading card? I want to do a cover for you." So, okay,
okay, fine,
let's do it. So he did a really good job.
Yeah.
And it's kind of fun to just see the progression too. Both books were done at the same printer and everything, but you can definitely see we're learning and making it better, I think. So
man, the texture on the second one is fantastic. It's that kind of, I don't know, pseudo matte texture that they have on like the paperbacks. You know, it feels really good in the hand.
Yeah.
Dude,
yeah.
I cannot wait to dive into these, man. And signed.
There it is.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, you have to let me know what you think. I love that at this time too. I had a lot of backers get volume 1 and volume 2. I think it's just fun because you got well over 100 pages of book to read. I feel like you can sit down and enjoy a story for a little while. Hopefully put the bookmark to some use.
Oh yeah, bookmarks are always helpful. Always helpful to have bookmarks. I can't wait, man. So what was the inspiration for Downcast? Was this like a story that you had in your head for years, or did this come to you just randomly? What was the impetus of Downcast?
Yeah. So I have been working on it for years. And look, initially it was just Joanne. There was no Jax. It was just her, and she was a bike courier, like a jet bike courier in this floating city. And I just thought, if I'm going to make a comic, I want to make one that the budget would have to be through the roof if you were going to make a film of it, because that's what comics are great for. So to me, it's a Venice in the sky. And then, I had jet bikes. I was inspired by a lot of video games from the 90s, like Jet Moto. I thought I need Jet Motos in there.
Nice.
I kind of liked, Final Fantasy VII, how it's just this sort of dingy, big, dystopian city kind of vibe. And probably a few other places. It's been a while. But yeah, I designed Joanne first. I had a different version of the script and how she got basically the power to control gravity. As I kind of went through different iterations, I think she needed somebody. She needed a partner. And so I thought it'd be fun to do her brother. So they have this family dynamic that's really fun to write. And that's, I love Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's one thing I liked, is that the siblings, they fight. It's different than on any other relationship, is the siblings. And so
the whole sibling rivalry thing. Do you have siblings?
I do. Yeah. I have, I've got 3 other brothers and I've got 1 sister. So
wow.
Yeah, it was like Ninja Turtles. We each had our favorite Ninja Turtle, and, like you fight, you're going through the same things at roughly the same time. Even, it's your longest relationship. You'll probably know your siblings or live, you'll be alive the same time as they are, longer than your parents are, if you think about it. And so it really is an interesting kind of dynamic in those relationships. So
that's really cool to hear. That's a very cool way to hear it put. I'm an only child. I grew up an only child. So I mean, I don't have any siblings. I'm pretty close to some of my cousins, so they're like the closest things. I mean, I have friends that I consider siblings.
Yeah.
But to actually hear it described like that, that's pretty cool. Sometimes you hear about siblings that don't get along so well.
Yeah, and that's what makes it interesting sometimes, because you're like, they're fighting or they hate each other, but you kind of have this need to associate still. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. So it's complicated. Nothing's quite that dramatic in Downcast yet. They're on the same team. So
good. Yeah.
But yeah, it made for some fun writing, something a little different, I think.
Awesome. So this is volume 1 and volume 2. Will there be a volume 3? What are your future plans for Downcast?
Yeah, I really want to do volume 3. I think what I'm going to do is send out a survey. I'm going to wait a few weeks, give everybody some time to read the books, and I'm going to send out a survey. I did that last time too, to get a little bit of feedback.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to be making books for me. I want to be making them for readers. So if there is still demand there, then I really want to do it. I have a great idea. But you'll notice after volume 2, it has sort of a nice resolution. It rounds off a story arc. But there's obviously a lot you could do. And I kind of hint at some potential things in the Secret History of Strata, which is just this additional sort of illustrated prose story history in the back of Rise and Fall. And so there's I guess I can give you a little sneak peek.
Wow.
Turned right to it.
Turned right to it. Wow.
Yeah, if you turn in maybe 2 pages, I'm guessing it might be 3 pages. There's going to be one more page. Sorry. Wow. And that's Peter Gilmore's art right there. His was perfect. I need a drawing from the 1800s, one of those really detailed pen and ink kind of
Way to
things.
go, Gilmore. That's gorgeous, man.
Yeah. And that's the first appearance of the, oh gosh, one more page. You think I would? No. Later. There's one more page.
One more.
We're not there yet. There's a guy underwater. Okay, you passed it, I think. No, there it is. Okay. There it is, right there.
Wow. Okay, that's the one you were talking about.
Yeah, so I've got plans. I want to do a story that involves this guy. And so yeah, when you read it, you'll understand. I think hopefully you'll understand. But yeah, so kind of
folks, plans for this diver dude here.
Yeah, it could be really cool. I'm excited for it. But yeah, again, I want to see what people say. So
yeah, I'm excited to dive into these. I've been getting a bunch of different things recently, so I've got a lot of reading ahead of me that I need to do, and you know, it's incredible because all of these amazing projects, all of these different voices all come together, and we have a way to, I don't know, share all this stuff. We get to be a bunch of comic geeks, you know, together, and like, hey, I've got this cool project. That's awesome. I've got this cool project. You know, I love it. I love the fact that there's so many creative, talented people, like in our, you know, in our network, in our community. Yeah. Like, you know, like how long have you wanted to do comics, Clint? Like, it's
a while,
forever, right?
Yeah, a while. I think so. I started writing prose. I've written a couple novels, but to me, it was like it was only because I couldn't do the art, and so so writing that was fun, and I enjoyed writing the novels. But it was always the goal to go and do comics, and so it's really is like sometimes I have to sit back and think this is the dream. You know, I'm doing exactly what I want to be doing. So. It's really fun. It's
fantastic. And see, that's the whole reason. That's the whole reason why you're doing it, because, you know, it's something you've always wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I imagine that's true for a lot of the creators that we've got, you know, like our buddy Spence, Rooster Puncher. Like, I know this has always been something he's wanted to do, you know? And obviously our boy Fraga, like this has been his dream from the get-go, you know? So it's, this indie market scene that we've got, I'm so proud of it, you know, like all the talented people, all you talented motherfuckers out there.
there's nothing like it too. Nothing that has existed so far or does exist that is like the Comicsgate network.
Yeah.
It's weird. I don't know. You think about all these people voluntarily helping each other out, you know what I mean? Like you invited me on a stream. It's like I'm always trying to invite other people on streams and promote other books, and there's just this camaraderie, you know, helping people out, and then it's all linked with video, you know, on the internet, so you get to know everybody. It's just I don't think it gets enough credit for how special a time this is for comics.
I agree. You know, just the connectivity that we all have. Like, you're all the way across the country, you know, from where I'm at, and we can sit down, have a chat. You know, these are, I don't know, we can't go to conventions right now, so these are kind of how we get around that. Yeah. Like, we can get together as comic nerds, you know, and we can hang out. Like, we can do a panel, you know, we can have discussions. You know, it's fantastic, and the level of access that we're able to have interaction wise is unprecedented. But again, the technology is finally there, and you know, we've never had anything quite like our telecommunications network that we have now. So I guess it's only just now that we're able to do this. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's you know, I love reading Warren Ellis for that reason, because he'll come up with like the whole contacts thing. You know how they're working on contacts that you can have like a heads up display.
Yeah.
In a comic book, like back in fucking 2009, I want to say, Warren Ellis did a book called Dr. Sleep, and that was an everyday thing. People would have their contacts in, they would just leave them on all the time, and they could just constantly connect to the internet and do stuff. Like we're a hop, skip, and a jump away from that now, man.
Yeah.
You know? So, I mean, just the stuff that we create in our fiction kind of shows up in reality.
Yeah.
Sliding, you know, automatic doors on the Star Trek Enterprise in the 60s. They had to pull that shit open, you know, but now we've got automatic doors.
It's true. Yeah.
You know?
You look back at it and you take it for granted because you don't realize what was capable at the time. But yeah, if they said that they had contact lenses like tomorrow, I would totally believe it. You know, that you could connect to the internet, because it's just like, well, of course they're going to. So
you know, just the technology is fantastic, and I think it's amazing that we're using it to not only make, you know, comics more widely available to everyone, but also using it to connect and get to know people, to communicate, you know, to share ideas, you know. I love the fact that the videos, you know, I love because back in 2006, when I was doing Last Wednesday, there wasn't a whole lot like what we were doing. Nobody was talking about comics. There was no like show about comics, reviewing comics and talking about the movies that were coming out and whatnot. Now it's everywhere. Everybody's talking about it, you know? And on one hand, it's like, oh, but at the same hand, it's like, wow, there is so much content to watch now. This is great. You know, I don't even watch TV all that much anymore.
Yeah, so many people say that. I'm the same too. It's like if I want to watch TV, I have to really go out of my way to make some time for it. But it's cool because you can sit down and just you open up your phone and just say, what's going on? Who's streaming tonight? Mm-hmm. You know, and you're getting to know people. You get to know creators really well, and backstory behind comics. And that, to me, part of the reason why I like collecting comics is you have some books that just mean something to you, you know, and when you're there for the whole crowdfunding process and you understand some of the struggles it takes to get there, when you get that book, it's just that much more meaningful, you know?
Mm-hmm. Well, you feel involved with it, man. You're part of the process. You know, it's connecting with your audience in a way unlike any other. You know, you're bringing them along for the ride and the adventure of you making this book, and they're an integral part of it because they're showing their support. They're saying, yes, I want this book when it's ready. Here's my pre-order. You know, that's essentially what we're doing.
Yeah.
We do this shit all the time with previews. You know, if it's in my comic shop, like if something is a big enough item and you want to pre-order it from previews, you put a deposit down. So, you know, that's kind of what we're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's opportunities for new creators like me. You don't have to have a big legacy that you've already left behind in mainstream comics, though I'm sure that's helpful. But it's cool because it's just provided opportunities for people to make books for the first time and gain readers for the first time. And it's not an easy thing in comics. And so the fact that there's a route for it to work now, it's pretty impressive.
Absolutely. Rick Saylor says, can't lie, Fatal looks next level badass. Yeah, it do.
Thank you. Yeah. Charlie Snogans is seriously amazing.
Talented. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, we got some talented people working on comics, which is great because, you know, talented people should be working on comics. Forest Publishing says, hail. Yeah. Hail, brother. Thanks for coming. Thanks for showing up. My boy J Money. What's going on, homie? But yeah, it's the level of access, the ability to connect directly with the audience, and, you know, like Fraga, he'll have the audience come join. I mean, shit, that's how I kind of got into this whole like streaming thing. I just happened to be in the audience hanging out for a while, and then he threw the link in the chat, and I was like, oh, all right, fine, whatever. I jumped on and didn't expect to get on, you know, and suddenly I'm talking with, you know, Fraga and Ethan, and I'm like, oh, wow. You know, and I interviewed Ethan way back in the day, 2006, you know, and, you know, he was just as much of a character back then as he is now. you know.
Yeah.
But you know, it's cool to be able to just hang out and talk to these names that I've seen in books for years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I've seen Ethan's name in books that I picked up for years. His stuff on New X-Men was some of my favorite of that entire run. You know, Frega, his Wolverine stuff, and like the early Extreme stuff that he did. Like I've seen these names for years. And tHe, I've seen Art's name on so much of my collection. Speaking of which, black and white T-shirt. Hail the tHe.
New editions. Yeah, I've got. Let's see. I've got black and white right here too.
Yes. Hell yes, dude. Such a good book.
Yeah.
Like,
it's awesome. Art tHe, he's one, for example, like I'd been kind of keeping my eye on him a little bit. And, you know, when I started making videos and streaming and stuff, and then, you know, he was promoting a book, and I asked it, what was this, like November or something? And I was like, hey, if you want to come on, I'll help, you know, we can promote it my stream. And he's like, sure, you know, and so you develop a relationship there, you know, and I don't know, it's just really cool just to be able to reach out and talk to these creators that I respect and admire. You know, it's really fun.
Yeah, you know, and just get to talk about this medium that we all love. Like we all love comics. We all have that one issue that got us into comics. Like for you, what was that one issue that got you into comics that you're like, that I want to do this?
Yeah,
is there one or is there a series? Like,
so, I mean, I could give the credit in a couple places, but where it really started was Amazing Fantasy 15. I obviously I read a reprint of it.
Yeah,
but I was I wanted to read Spider-Man, and so I was like, oh, I gotta find it somewhere. So I went to, it was actually in a dollar store, and it was like small, like ash can sized, and it had Amazing Fantasy 15, you know, reprint in it. And so I read that, and I was like, this is just so fun. Like it wasn't. So that was my. I think I'd read a couple other comics before that, but it was just kind of like, I could leave or take it. But there was just something about it that was just pure fun. And I was like, I need to read the rest of Stanley's series. And so it was just trying to figure out, you know, how to do that at the time. But another one, Batman: The Long Halloween, I read that one, and that was sort of just pulled me in a new direction of what comics could be. Oh, Batman Year 1, 2, I think it really sort of, you know, set out the boundaries of how great comics can be and the different directions you can go. And to me, I was just like, oh, this it's a medium. It's not just like a storytelling format. You know, it's not just like superhero stories. This whole medium. You know?
Dude, totally. That moment where I realized that comics could be so much more than just like superheroes was when I got introduced to like Sandman and Preacher and Transmetropolitan. Like, you know, I'd read some indie books, you know, growing up. You know, you get a hold of like some black and white stuff. I mean, everybody loved Ninja Turtles and whatnot, but it wasn't until like I was getting ready to graduate from high school, like I was 17 years old, and my buddy Derek, who I ended up working on last Wednesday with, he introduced me to Vertigo. And I was like, oh, I see. Okay, so we can do this outside of the superheroes, the capes and whatnot. You know, Transmetropolitan blew my tiny little mind, you know, because I grew up in a very, you know, conservative Christian home. And, you know, I had my comics like my X-Men, my Spider-Man and whatnot. And, you know, got a few Image titles. They were a little bit racier than I was allowed to have for a while. But, yeah, when I got introduced to Vertigo, I was like, okay. And then I started, you know, my music started turning a little darker around then as well. I picked up Fear Factory's Obsolete. And it just got louder, darker, and heavier from there. And so did my taste in, you know, entertainment. I mean, I always enjoyed horror movies as a kid, and I'd sneak out and watch them just because I wasn't supposed to. But yeah, you know, and then full blown from there. So yeah, but Jim Lee's X-Men 1 made me want to do comics, made me want to draw comics.
Yeah, and that's another distinction too, is to, because some you just think I could do this, or I, not that I could do this. Well, some books make me think I could do this. I sometimes
Right.
I'm like, come on, like I could do this. But others, you're like, I want to do what this comic has achieved. And there are so many of those that really inspire me. But yeah, lately I just Hellboy has been. I'm in the BPRD now, and I hadn't read any Hellboy until just earlier this year, but now I have my bookshelf is just full of these big, thick omnibuses, and it's been really fun. But it's just cool to see the different creators' takes on it, and cool stuff. I'm like, I want to do that too. I want to show off,
You want to express yourself via the width and breadth of comics.
Yeah,
all that the medium can afford. Well, I mean, dude, between Downcast and now Fatal, like you're doing a couple of different things. This is, I guess I would consider Downcast, just judging on the cover, it would be like kind of fantasy punk a little bit.
Yeah.
And, Fatal is a bit more leaning hard into sci-fi, like a more hard edge sci-fi.
Yeah, if sci-fi kind of soap opera or space opera kind of thing, yeah. But then Downcast is very much, it's not, people are asking for like, well, where's the science of? It's definitely more fantasy, and it's more, it's for slightly younger reader. It's a teen book, but I would say that Fatal is a little bit more mature.
Okay.
And so, and then I'm going to be doing a horror book too. I've got plans to do one of those. And so it's kind of fun.
I heard that.
Yeah, it's kind of fun to just kind of stake out like these are the kind of books and genres I want to play in. So,
right. Well, I mean, and when you're writing something, you hope you want to write something that you would read, something you'd be excited to read. Like, because if I'm not excited to read it, then why should anybody else be excited to read it? You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So let's take a look at Fatal. As a matter of fact, let's see if I can do this without Boomer in it. As the kids say these days. Yeah. Here we go. Okay. Cool. And we'll do a little refresh here. See what we got going on. 44,219. Man, you are kicking some ass.
Yeah, we're about halfway through the first 30 days. So yeah, it's just wild. I knew Charlie's artwork's so good, but it was just still like
this is.
Yeah, it's so cool. That's the wraparound cover. So much action, and there's like a fisheye kind of
you can see it in the buildings here.
Perspective. Yeah.
Talk about showing off. Damn, Charlie.
He makes it look effortless too. Is it? Yeah, it's so fun.
It looks like he's having fun. You can always tell when a creator is having fun when they're working on a project because you have this vibrancy. Look at this. Look at the movement, the motion, the energy of this entire page. Yeah. Like even the panel borders. It's just it screams kinetic. I love it.
Yeah, he's not working for a page rate. You know what I mean? Like you can see, and you can get paid a page rate and love what you do, but there are also artists that are just doing it for the page rate. You know what I mean?
Right.
With this, Charlie, this is absolutely a passion project. He's always coming up with these world building ideas, and the cool thing is, it's his book too. So he's just adding stuff in that he thinks looks cool. It takes him more time to draw, but it just makes it for a more richer world. So I don't know. It's a pleasure.
I want this panel right here on a fucking shirt, like on a black shirt.
Yeah.
Like seriously, just like right here in the center. That panel right there, this panel right here on a black shirt. Nothing else. Leave his signature in there, but nothing else. No description, just nothing. If you want to put it like on the back, like on the nape, put Fatal or you know, whatever you want. But yeah, that would totally buy that on a shirt. That is fucking cool as shit. It's so moody, and you know, the subtlety of the body language mixed with the, you know, in what is the word I'm looking for? It's in contrast to the subtlety of the organics of his body movement, the subtlety of the body language versus the hard edge technology all around him. But it just, I don't know, the balance.
Yeah.
The whole thing. Sorry. Yeah. I love that fucking panel.
Good. Yeah. That was one. So that's page 1. And we've been kind of working on this Marvel method. So he'll just do an action sequence. We know we need one. He'll just do whatever he wants. And then I'm going back and writing after the fact. We're following the same outline, but it makes for such a fun, creative collaboration. It's totally like you're jamming in a garage band kind of thing, you know?
Dude, I like the sound of that.
Yeah, but that page 1, it was like, okay, I need a page that sort of sets it up, and I gave him a little bit of information, and you know, I had some stuff written for it, and then he turned in that page, and so to me, that panel, that big panel that you were talking about, is just again, it's meaningful to me because that was the first page that I influenced. It is page 1 as well, but yeah, so it's fun. Dude, but yeah, we could totally do a t-shirt of that. That's a good idea.
I dig it, man. And I am such a whore for t-shirts. I used to do screen printing. I used to work for a screen printer. So, you know, designing t-shirts has always been a lot of fun. And so whenever I see something like that, just the stark, just the colors are perfect, and just like on a black t-shirt, it'd be fucking dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. We're thinking about things to add to the campaign too, because we're like, well, it'd be nice to breathe some new life into it, you know, and not necessarily like, you don't want people to be refunding things and, you know, because they want to ship things different. But a t-shirt's a great idea because you got to ship that separately anyway. Yeah. And so it just would make sense. But that's a good idea. I'll talk to Charlie about that.
Wicked. And, you know, babes on t-shirts always sell.
Yeah.
Just saying, you know.
There's that too.
You know, just her. I don't know if he's got more of this foot or whatnot, or if he can finish out the figure and put her on a shirt. You know?
That'd be a good t-shirt idea.
Just a couple, but yeah, dude, these pages are gorgeous. He's doing the colors too, right? He's doing the whole thing. Yeah,
well, he's so far. We're looking for a colorist, but we really want somebody that can match these colors. So we're not rushing anything. We've tried out several colorists and seen some good colors, but this is the standard we're going for. So with his art, it's like really you need to have. I told him this. You need to have your Kyle Ritter, so to speak. You know, you need to have a colorist that you get what you're doing.
Yeah, what you need, homie.
Yeah,
like, straight up. Did you see the recolor of the original like Black Flag wraparound piece?
I did.
Like,
yeah,
our boy Yaki knocked it out of the fucking park. He made that line work pop, man. Like the colors were perfect. They added form and depth to the entire thing, and like the sky was amazing. But it pushed the line work forward. Sometimes I feel like colorists go a little overboard, and the actual like the line work kind of gets lost. At least for me, you know what I mean?
No, I agree. Yeah. It's and Charlie's very particular about that because he doesn't want it to feel like they're. That's a good organic subtlety. Yeah,
organic subtlety. Yeah.
Yeah, and you see that in the colors too. Like you see those little, I don't know, flash lens flares almost, you know, and you look at them and you can clearly tell it's just very hand drawn, but in context of the whole piece, it works. Yeah. Totally. And you see that kind of thing in the line art everywhere. I love it.
No, these pages are great, man. You know, some of Charlie's stuff, like this right here, like the AAT, as our boy Rick Saylor has pointed out.
Yeah.
You know, it reminds me, like even this panel right here reminds me of J. Scott Campbell. Like the subtle sexiness that he always puts in his figures. Yeah. And you know, Adam Hughes. Like the subtle and sexy yet powerful feminine figures they always make. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And that Charlie will tell you, J. Scott Campbell is one of his influences on especially how he draws women. So I think he said, Campbell said, he only think of the parts that you like about women and emphasize those parts, or those are the parts that you draw, And so just little things like with the hips or the eyes, and you exaggerate those kinds of things,
Yeah. You make them stand out because that's what stands out to you.
Exactly. It's like seen through a man's eyes. This is how women look,
Yeah, and appreciating the female form, because
absolutely,
damn, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Speaking of hot damn, it's beautiful. Look at this. This is an entire page right here. Or is
we did take out. There's a panel at the top of this that you're not seeing, and that'll be in the story. But we took it out just so we have this promo piece. But we could do a poster with this or something too. We're gonna actually, when we hit 50K, everybody's gonna get a fold out poster.
Nice.
And so we haven't committed to which pieces the poster is going to be, but this is potential. This one has its hat in the ring.
Definitely. That's fucking wicked, man. Yeah, I would definitely put that up as a poster.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Look at that. That city is great. Wow. Let's see. J Money says, Yak does a different type of coloring. I like Clint's colors with this style he has. Oh, absolutely. That's why I was asking if it was just Charlie doing everything right now, because the line work on this city, look at it. Just pop. All the line where dude knows how to color his own stuff.
He does. Yeah.
If you can find a colorist that can maintain this coloring, totally, dude. That's wicked.
Yeah, I think they're out there.
Absolutely.
And we've been trying people out, so I'm sure
Excellent.
We'll find a good colorist. Charlie's though is like, if we hit a really high stretch goal, I'll do the coloring. But he made it really, really high, so because he doesn't want to color the whole thing.
He's like, I just want to draw, man. I want to do the colors. It takes too long. Who did the colors for the wraparound? Did he?
Yeah, those are all Charlie. Yep.
All right, cool. That he set the template, set the style. Now he's just got to find a color or colorist to follow up.
Absolutely.
Dude, that logo. Wow.
Got a ton of pages on here.
Holy shit, man. Like I've only scrolled down to about right up here. Like I got down to this page, Get drawn into the book. Oh hell. 2 out of 5 claimed. Nice. 3
left, yeah. And he does really good likenesses because he's done a ton of likenesses in his career. So
wow.
Yeah, be really cool.
Hell yeah. Jump on that, y'all. What was I going to say? The logo. The other thing I would say is the logo as a patch. Like that Death Sworn patch that our boy put up today. Oh my god. Like
it's really cool.
If you're listening, I can't wait for that patch, and I'm glad you went with the black border.
Yeah, it looks really good. That's why I'm kind of thinking of like tier. I got a few references to patch companies.
Yeah.
I might look into that a little bit. I like the t-shirt idea.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because people want to support the campaign.
Yep.
And it's like, I already have the books, so we're trying to think of some other things, but these are all great ideas.
Well, see, I've got my battle vest with my death metal bands on it.
Yeah.
I want a battle vest with like my indie comics on it. Like, I want a fatal patch that I can put on there. I want my Death Sworn patch. I've got my black and white patch. I've got my robot, patch. I want more. I need more.
Gotta deck it out. Yeah,
that's right, man. I need it all. And I'm thinking on the back for like the back patch, just do like what is it? Do Frazetta's Death Dealer. By the way, dude, I got this book from the shop the other day.
Wow.
It's the paintings of Frazetta, fantastic paintings of Frazetta, and I've been pouring over it. I did a study of of Death Dealer, but like get that in a patch and put it on the back of the comics battle vest.
Oh yeah,
yeah, man.
So cool. I love those.
Go ahead.
I love those art books, like just to look at what they've done.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome.
Just have you ever seen what is it? Painting with Fire, the documentary about Frazetta?
I have not seen it. I've heard of it, but do you know where do they have it streaming somewhere online?
It might be on YouTube. It was at one point. I'm not sure if it is anymore. But yeah, if you can't find it, let me know. I can find a way to get it to you.
Okay.
But it's fantastic, man. Just goes into his life, talks about the different stuff, and get stories from different people that he influenced. You get stories from Bisley, you get stories from Kaluta, you get stories from Wrightston. I mean, it's fantastic, man. Definitely worth watching. But yeah, I love those art books. That's what I found myself looking for in the previews, because I work in my LCS here in town. She's been in business for 34 years now.
Wow.
And I've been shopping there since I was 10. Like she's known me since I was a kid. Like there's a church like a couple of parking lots away, and I used to attend the private middle school, right? So I'd sneak out on my lunch break and I'd go buy my comics from Vanessa and then hide them in my backpack and then go back to class.
Yeah.
and then, I wouldn't touch them until after school, because I knew if they saw them, I'd never get them back.
Yeah.
Gone. Because, comics are the devil. DEVIL, devil. So yeah. So I mean, that's the kind of stuff I found myself looking for in the back of previews, like independent comics and art books, because I mean, a lot of the big two stuff just kind of got repetitive and boring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
plus, the stuff that's in the back of the previews, like the little independent ones, like a lot of people ain't going to see them because they've got, ads that are this big.
Yeah.
And that's why what we've got going on here, like direct consumer. Does it make me sad that I can't have Fatal in the comic shop? Yeah. But, maybe through Alterna, we can get cool independent comics showing up in the shops.
Yeah. Yeah. And we're experimenting with that, with Downcast, obviously going through Alterna. Yep. I'm really... Yeah. It's soon. It's coming up soon too. It's going to be late October or early November. But
that's
man,
awesome.
When that first issue comes out, I'm really interested. I'm going to push it as hard as I can, but I'm really interested to see how it does, and it could prove, a different way to sort of flip comics, because then I can crowdfund and do the trade paperback myself, pay for the book. You know what I mean? Make sure everyone gets paid. And then you give them a special version that has extras and things like that they're not going to get. And then
art pieces, like in the back of each issue, do some production work, some sketch work, a snippet of script, just some little extra.
Yeah. I would love to do, like on Downcast 3, I would love to do, you've got the story, but then you also have, get a guest artist or something and do a little like 10-pager, do 2 10-pagers, and those are ones you only get, so there's a difference. But I really think that there's just a way to continue to expand the audience and, make it affordable to people. I think it's a different demographic of people that are going to be interested in it. So we'll see. It'll be a good experiment.
Dude, I'm excited for it. I'll make sure that we at least get a couple of copies to sell in the shop. And the other day, I was going through some of the old comics and just like the smell and the feel of newsprint. Like, I don't know, there's something right about it. Newsprint and comics. It feels good.
I'm getting the. I'm trying to collect the whole Frank Miller Daredevil run back here, and the reason being is like I could just get the omnibus or something, but I want them on newsprint with all the ads inside, and you know what I mean. They're just like you said, there's something about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and that's true. Ads used to be a lot more entertaining in comics than they are now.
Sure.
Man, and what I find funny sometimes, I'll be thumbing through like a DC book, and they'll have like their comic book page ads for Snickers, and like I'll be reading something, and I don't read DC all that often. So I'll notice the art style kind of changes a little bit. I'm like, what the hell am I? Snickers? Oh, damn it. A crummy commercial? Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
And flip to the next page. I don't know. At least they're trying. They're trying to do like some different kind of ads. But yeah, ads used to be a lot more fun. Like, where are my X-ray specs, man?
Yeah, I know.
And the sea monkeys. I want those.
That's why those facsimile editions are kind of fun, because you just see, the original, like what was going on. I think that's pretty fun.
They really should do the facsimile editions on newsprint. Like, if you want to do a real legit facsimile edition, do it on newsprint. And you're right, Geek Chorus, Hostess fruit pies, man. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I want one of those. That sounds good.
Right? Toss it in the microwave for like 10 seconds just to heat it up just a little bit. Whoa.
Yeah. Good advertising.
Right?
If they, I was thinking about this, if they took great runs on, classic stories, classic runs, and they reprinted them as they were on newsprint, and they released them, even, I don't know, monthly, bi-monthly or something, bi-weekly, release those things, people would buy them like crazy. Sure. I guarantee it.
Just to have reader copies.
Exactly. Yeah, I know I would. And I'm having the darndest time finding all the issues for Daredevil. And so it's that's kind of part of the fun of it, I guess, too, is you're hunting. But totally. It's like if they did that whole run, I would just put it on my pull list and buy them all. And that, I don't know, that kind of highlights a bit of there aren't a lot of series, especially superhero stuff, that excite me enough that I want to do that nowadays. So I don't know if partially I've just grown out of it. You know what I mean? I'm just more interested in indie books, I guess.
Right. No, I can understand that. I mean, I've been reading comics since I was 3. Like, my dad got me into comics. He read comics when he was a kid, and like he got me Spider-Man, Batman, and the Fantastic Four. Those were like the first 3 comics I ever got. And I couldn't actually read the words, but I could tell what was going on because of the pictures, right? Yeah. And my mom was teaching me to read with flashcards, and very motivated to learn how to read because I wanted to know what Spider-Man, Batman, and the Fantastic Four were saying. So I kind of forgot where I was going with this. Oh, I've been reading them for a long time, and they were better back in the day because even going back now and rereading them, they were better back in the day because they weren't talking down to the viewer. Like, as a kid, I was reading Claremont's X-Men. Like, I was reading Claremont's X-Men, and it wasn't going over my head. Like, yeah, they would use a bunch of words that I didn't understand, and I would have to go look up, which, thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. But, it wasn't over my head. Yeah. I could understand the human interactions, and they were real people to me, Like Spider-Man, I could empathize with him, even though he was, an adult in college, just because he had everyday problems that, I saw my older cousins go through, that I saw my parents go through, Yeah. And the Fantastic Four, that whole family dynamic, Batman was just fun just because he had like, cool gadgets and a neat rogues gallery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The detective work too is something that it kind of drew me to Batman, that you really get in the comics and not so much elsewhere. You really get into the
theoretically they're going to try to remedy that in this the Matt Reeves Batman movie.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, theoretically. I'm that whole scene where Patty Bat is beating down the thug, like hitting him again and again and again, and it's supposed to come across as really savage.
Yeah.
I I'm sorry, Robert Pattinson. You do not intimidate me at all.
Yeah.
Armor you're wearing. I'll just pick you and your heavy armor up, and I will throw you down the street.
I hope that's good, because we could always use another good Batman movie, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm actively trying to keep my expectations low so that,
well, that's probably for the best.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, I kept my expectations low for Aquaman, and I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, it's funny how that happened. Wonder Woman was one that I thought it was going to be some like girl power movie. I actually quite liked Wonder Woman. I thought it was one of the best DC films. Yeah.
Yeah, still haven't seen that one. I got kind of burnt out after Batman versus Superman was pretty much a dud, and then Suicide Squad was a dumpster fire. Yeah. Then Justice League was kind of wah. I was like, yeah, and then I saw Aquaman. I was like, wow, this is actually not bad. And you don't look as ridiculous as I thought you would in that orange and green shiny thing.
Yeah.
Good job, Momoa man.
Yeah. I don't know. Expectations definitely affect things for sure. But it's been so. I still haven't seen Shazam. I don't even know if they're technically in the same universe or anything, but they've just done a good job of
that one.
So many movies that have not been very good that I'm like, we'll see.
Right. 50 Shades of Bad. Oh, that's funny. What is it? Yo, Christopher John, what's going on, buddy? Oh shit, Dino won the lawsuit. New Fear Factory in the works. Hell yeah.
Sweet.
My boy Christopher John knows I love Fear Factory. Batman or Superman was straight garbage.
Yeah,
I liked it better than I liked Suicide Squad.
The big problem is they're so forgettable. They kind of blended into one for me. I don't know.
Well, too many characters trying to be, all at once. Like you're trying to do like 10 years worth of work in like, 50, in 2 movies, for lack of a, now actually in 1 movie, because you're introducing Aquaman and Cyborg in Justice League. You have no backstory for him except for like the hints and teasers with the cameo of Diana in Batman versus Superman. Like you think you're being clever, but you ain't. It's right. Like there's cleverness is not going to make up for laying groundwork and letting people get to know characters. You got to put in the time and the work.
Yeah, it's true.
Christopher John says, "Hail Clint, hail chat,
hail." Yeah,
thanks for coming for stopping by, buddy. But anyway, let's go over your tiers here, my friend, because people need to get on this book.
Yeah, for the most part, it's pretty straightforward. This first collector's bundle has been something I've sort of been refining over the years, over the year, I guess that I've been doing crowdfunding. And so yeah, in this version you get one of each book. So you get the book with the main cover, book with the variant cover, and then you get the artist edition, which is it's the book, but there's no lettering, there's no colors, it's just the line art. So you can go through and just pour over Charlie's amazing line art.
Wow, that's pretty damn cool.
Yeah.
So it's the graphic novel, square bound thing, but just nothing but black and white line work.
Exactly. I thought people would want that. They'd ask for it. People are backing it too. So it's so far so good. And you get your name in the book, trading card set in a wax pack, and it ships first.
Oh,
so that's sort of the draw here.
Wow, man, that's a hell of a deal.
Yeah. So it's $100, and yeah, it's basically the works. But we have a few other great tiers too, and it's pretty standard, I think, from here out. It's just you get the book, $25. This is by far the most popular one. 511 backers.
Hell yeah. Well, I mean, shit, man. How many pages is it going to be?
We're looking at 52 pages.
52 pages for $25. That's great.
Yeah.
Perfect bound, right? Just like these.
Yeah, that's really what I want to be doing is perfect bound graphic novels. You can put them on your shelf. Yeah.
And the whole having the numbers on the side so you can see them when you put them up on the shelf. Yeah, dude. Definitely.
Absolutely. Yeah, and you can see to the print quality. To me, this is like premier prestige edition. So just doing really nice books. That's the goal here too.
That reminds me what I was going to say earlier when we were talking about Alterna reprinting Downcast. Brian Polito, like he's been doing this crowdfunding thing for a while. He's an OG.
Yeah.
That's what he does. He does the prestige format graphic novel with perfect bound. You get all the goodies, all the pins and the stickers and the bookmarks, and oh my god, I love all that stuff.
Yeah.
All the stretch goals, and then he will put out 2 issues of the whatever the storyline was, like God, Chaos Express, I think is one of them. There've been a lot of them. Anyway, he'll do that, and it'll be issue 1 and issue 2, and those will be 2 22-page issues and put out by Coffin Comics. But the reason why he was able to do that is because he made enough money to start a new company.
Yeah.
Doing crowdfunding. He's got an HQ. He's got a production line. Man, he has refined this thing down to a science.
Yeah.
My boy's a genius.
And having a release schedule. This is again the direction I want to go. I don't want to do a subscription model. I think that'd just be a lot of work to handle. But having people know, like, hey, the next Downcast is coming out this month, or like a year in advance, just knowing what your publication schedule is like, I think would be really, really helpful to people. They know what to expect, and yeah, we'll get there.
Nice. Rick Saylor wants to know, when are you going to get on Michael Bancroft's channel to promote Fatal? I push the shit out of the link for it every night. Michael streams every night at 11.
Yeah, I've been talking to Michael. I think I messaged him last and said, hey, you want to do tomorrow night? So I got to check through my Twitter DMs again. But yeah, the plan is to go on there. I've been talking with him. So
awesome. Mike's good peeps. I like hanging out with him.
Yeah.
He's fun. Back Dracula's Grand. That's okay. That's right. So you're related to Bram Stoker, right?
In an extremely distant way, but I am related. I've got receipts. I did a whole stream and went through the genealogy. So I am related, but it's kind of ridiculous as to how far away it is. But I'm going to milk it. Why not?
Right. Yeah. No, I understand. My dad claimed we were related to a certain band, just because we spelled our last name the same way. I was like, okay, Dad, sure, whatever you say, buddy.
Yeah.
So yeah. Well, that's awesome, man. And like you said, you have receipts. He just, he was just talking.
Yeah. I thought for the longest time, like, well, it'd always come up growing up, and I'm like, no, we're not related. But
right.
My mom was like, I'm going to find out. And she, gets into, ancestry.com or one of those sites. And then, oh, sure enough, like, actually we can trace it back. And yeah, it's something like 11th cousin 14 times removed or something. It's really ridiculous, but it counts.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. That's awesome. So, are you ever going to do any kind of vampire story? Do you feel particularly drawn to vampires? Like what kind of horror do you enjoy? What's your favorite kind of horror story?
I like horror. I like I think I like slow burn, or like I don't know. I like a lot of different things. I guess I like psychological horrors. I need to do a vampire story just because everyone asks about it. And so, yeah, I've got an idea for one, a couple ideas to do one. And so I'm going to do it for sure. but it's just a matter of when. So the plan is it'll probably be the next book I put out will be a vampire book. The question is though, do I call it Dracula? I could because it's public domain,
Right.
but at the same time, it's like just call it something different. Then I don't have any problem, potential issues with other people doing Dracula public domain stuff.
Dude, I would, and you get lost in a sea of like different Draculas. Even if you do like, Clint Stoker's Dracula, you've got the name that's legitimately your name, and it's clever, but is it going to be enough to make the title stand out? Plus, I got a feeling you could probably come up with something way fucking cooler, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I love the idea of writing a horror, and so I want to do a horror, but yeah, I don't necessarily. I don't know. It feels like the Dracula title is kind of just for the novelty because that's a fun novelty, but I don't know. Part of me thinks if I do a vampire story and just do it a little differently, do it my way, then I'm not bound to the history or making it work or also
those.
Yeah. So I can do whatever I want. So I don't know. We'll see. I kind of want to poll people and see what they think.
Sure. Well, whatever you feel drawn to. You could go to Frog G's idea here. Stoker presents to me the vegan vampire.
Yeah.
Bloodborne by Clint Stoker.
Yeah, that's not taken.
Yeah. This sounds awful, Geek Chorus. Why would you suggest an awful thing?
Oh, gross.
Awful. Just awful.
Yeah.
Dude, I am excited for Fatal. This looks fantastic, man.
Thanks. Yeah.
Actually, Rick had a question about a page. You got somebody to do a page. How did you get? There it is. How did you get Michael Siegenthaler to do a page?
Yeah. He's from Skits, right? The Skits team. And so, yeah, everyone. I know he doesn't.
People call him Mike. I've never actually looked at his name written out.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
He actually mentioned a couple times to me that he wanted to do something for Downcast, and so it was just a matter of finding the right thing for him to do. So Secret History of Strata was perfect because I had a whole bunch of different artists that contributed to it.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I asked him, hey, you have time for this? And yeah, he had time. He did a great job on that piece. So for him, it was, I want the very first building that was raised into the air, by the orb, the first building for the city. This is what you're going to draw. And however you want to do it, just make it look cool. So yeah. And anyway, he did a fantastic job with it. So
yeah, man. Can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
What else we got here? Yeah, they're saying just do it your way. Make it badass and a gore fest.
Yeah, I want to make it
vampire
creepy. I mean, yeah, that's the thing is I want to make it creepy. I was just thinking of all the creepiest things that I like, and that's why I don't want to be so much connected to what some stuffy castle and some, what I mean? Like, I don't really want to do that. I want to do, how does one become a vampire? And how, I don't know. I've got some ideas around that. So I don't know. I think it could be fun.
Hell yeah, dude. I'm for it, man.
Yeah.
I love different takes on vampires. Like, The Strain. You ever watch The Strain? You ever read The Strain?
I haven't seen it. Yeah, I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it.
Read the books.
Okay.
The books are better. I mean, they did a good job with the series, don't get me wrong, but read the books. If you can find the first audiobook, it's actually read by Ron Perlman.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
It's pretty badass. Unfortunately, he didn't do the second two, like the second and third book, but yeah, that's how I get my novels in. Like, I listen to audiobooks. Like, while I'm sitting here at the drawing desk, I'll listen to audiobooks. I actually just finished the most recent Daniel Faust novel, which was pretty good. Nice. I like urban fantasy, what is it? Dresden Files, and Slim, Richard Cadre, Jim Butcher.
Very cool.
Yeah, they're fun, but yeah, that's how I get my novels in. That's how I've listened to like just about everything that Stephen King has ever written. There's like maybe a dozen of his novels I haven't quite gotten through yet.
Yeah. There's man, it's been a while. I used to read novels like crazy. I love Cormac McCarthy. I have so many comics on my list. That's mainly what I've been reading. But yeah, there's a lot of good ones. Speaking of vampires, I Am Legend, the book.
Yes.
Like it's not the movie, but the book is so great, and it's such a cool take on vampires. And I don't know, like to me, that's more of what I want to take a different angle on it, and yeah, make it creepy again.
Totally. Then definitely lean into that Matheson. Like Matheson's fucking great.
Yeah,
I love his sci-fi because he along with like Harlan Ellison, they kind of do. They'll lean into that whole psychological horror thing that you really dig. Like if you want some sci-fi that'll like make the hackles raise up in the back of your neck, definitely read some Harlan Ellison and Matheson.
Yeah.
Like what is it? I have no mouth, but I must scream.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
Fuck, dude. Yeah, definitely.
The whole reason why it's called I Am Legend is like the twist too. And you in the movie you don't get that. It's like, why did they even call it that?
It's so like thud at the end, compared to that original ending. And I will never tell anybody what that original ending is just because I want them to read it, because you won't. It's the impact of that ending. Like I remember reading that and going, holy fuck. Yeah, totally.
And that's the psychological element then too, because then you're going, for me it was like the next week I'd think about it every now and then, and it's like, maybe I'm a monster, or what, maybe it's so great. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome, dude. That makes me so happy that you've read I Am Legend. That's great story, man. Great story. Let's see, what do we got going on here? I, Vampire, great book. Ooh, I've never heard. Gate Chorus, who wrote that one? Let's see. Have you seen the movie The Priest? Totally different type of vamp. Nope, I've never seen that one.
I haven't either. There's so many different vampires, but yeah, that's why I'm like, it'd be fun to do something kind of unique. Take a new angle on it.
Right. Crazy person thinking he's a vampire. Didn't they do that with like Nicolas Cage? Didn't he like go crazy it might not have been Nicolas Cage, but it seems like a role he would take. I remember watching this movie with my parents. This dude kind of goes nuts and he like gets the fake fangs and he like, starts trying to bite people and he's like eating cockroaches. Like, I swear to God that was a movie, but
I think I knew someone like that in high school.
Holy shit! Really?
No, I mean, it's the thing is, it's so believable. I've seen news stories about it where the teenagers get together and create a vampire cult. You know what I mean? That was the 80s or early 90s or something.
Like that episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you ever watch that show?
Not much. I've seen a little. I've seen a few episodes, but I haven't watched the whole thing. So
yeah, there was an episode in one of the early seasons where there was a cult that was trying to lure a vampire down there so they could become immortal.
Yeah.
But, yeah. It's funny. Goths in high school, man.
Yeah. Kind of makes it believable that way though too. Like I could follow the logic. That's almost scarier. It's just someone that's really committed to it. Yeah,
because that could actually really happen.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Roman is a soy boy.
Is he?
He has his politics, and he's more than welcome to them. That 70-year-old soy boy could rip your arms off. Something is your destiny, Clint.
Probably to write vampires. Yeah.
No. to write vampires. Yeah. Okay. Christopher C says, yeah, Nick Cage did that movie Vampire's Kiss, I think. Okay. Yeah, it was some movie in like the late 80s, early 90s, I think. But yeah, I remember, getting the fake fangs and then getting like really expensive fake fangs and, trying to bite people and like living in like a fucking apartment with no furniture, no carpeting, and like chasing cockroaches around. I remember thinking, what the hell is going on? Yeah.
Hey, I gotta get going here.
Yeah, dude, totally.
I don't mean to cut it short or anything, but
I mean, we're just at this point. We talked about the book. We talked about. God, I still love this picture. At this point, dude, we're just hanging out and chilling. If you got a roll, then we'll go ahead and wrap the stream up. I do, however, want to show the fine ladies and gentlemen at home what came for me in the mail today.
Oh yeah.
Downcast, Rise and Fall. Now with the pretty purple, shiny.
Finally did the foil right this time.
Dude, I'll tell you what, though, I am right there with you, though. I would have thought it would be kind of like I don't know, like kind of a shiny gunmetal that was dark. Like it would be shiny, reflective, but still dark, And
I wish that's one thing. My only complaint is this printer is not great with communication, but their printing is just gorgeous. So I wish they would have just told me like, hey man, do like a gray or something,
Quality is fantastic. And the cover, Magic Cop had the same feel for this cover. I'm not sure what to call it, but this kind of semi-matte finish.
It's some kind of matte. I don't know depending on which printer you go to, but yeah, it's some kind of matte. And then we got the spot gloss UV. So there's certain parts that are kind of shiny and smooth. So that's a nice little effect.
The spot gloss is great. I love it. Let's see if I can tilt this one here so you guys can see it. See that? That's the beauty of the spot gloss. Makes that character pop right out. But yeah, is this the same printer you're going to use for Fatal?
I'm possibly going to try out a new printer. I've got a local one here that says they can do what I need. So I'm gonna test them out probably. And yeah, it could be nice because it'll save me on freight. I'll get the books faster too. And
local businesses. Like
exactly. Yep.
And then card and the sticker and the bookmark. Like this is awesome, man. I can't wait to dive into this.
Absolutely. Thanks for backing it. I really appreciate it.
Oh, dude, I'm sorry that I missed it the first time around, but I am very glad that you had the first and second one.
Yeah.
So I could back it this time around, so I could pick up both.
Yeah, no, that's the beauty of it. It's I wish I had printed more volume ones. I'm not gonna lie. I've got the ones over here in my closet over here. I'm starting to run low. People are buying them, but that's a great problem to be having. So
absolutely, and you could always do a reissue with a different cover. That way it's a different edition. So completists have something else to collect, and people that didn't get a chance to back the initial campaign or the second campaign can pick it up.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Awesome. Rotten Glory says books rock. Got mine recently as well. What up, Rock? Good to see you, buddy.
Thank you.
Yeah. But we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here, guys. The link is in the description for Fatal. Go check it out. The book looks amazing. Charlie, keep kicking ass. Clint, keep kicking ass. I cannot wait. Can't wait to read these. I'll let you know how they are, dude.
Great. Sounds good. Thank you.
Thanks, guys, for being here. I appreciate everybody for showing up. And we will talk to you later.